Whether you're making hay or buying hay, there's no doubt you want to get the maximum benefit in terms of feed value for your cattle. That not only means getting hay cut and baled at the right time, but also storing it to preserve quality for as long as possible. We learn more about the keys to quality in baling and storing hay as Cattlemen to Cattlemen reporter Brian Baxter reports from Texas.
They say timing is everything when it comes to making the best hay, but beyond timing, there are key steps haymakers can take to ensure they bale high-quality hay that will hold up over time. Damon Hodges grows hay for a variety of livestock customers in East Texas.
The majority of our hay is it's coastal common. We've sprigged some Tifton, a lot of fescue in the bottom, and just a mixed grass, good quality grass, good clean grass. Our customers prefer a 4x5 bale, so that's pretty much what we stick with, make a good tight bale. The majority of our customers are local people, smaller type operations that have found, as we suspected, that they can buy their hay from me cheaper than they can bale it themselves.
Hodges believes in making high-quality hay for his customers' cattle, and the experts say there are several keys to putting up the best round bales.
Density is important when it comes to baling hay. Denser hay product is going to shed water more easily if it's stored directly outside. And in Texas, a lot of our producers do store hay outside because it is easier or cheaper. They may not have the resources or the desires to necessarily build a barn. So it does help shed some of that water.
Bale density is extremely important. On New Holland's roll belt round balers, we put a high level of importance on putting a high density bale out of the back of that machine. And really what that means is that we have designed our balers to use a combination of steel forming rolls and belts to apply the high amount of density pressure needed so that the bale can resist weathering and handle more moves easily. Really the benefit is to allow water to shed from that bale, particularly from precipitation. Bales will also wick moisture up from the ground. So having a high density bale allows that bale to resist moisture ingress into the bale a lot better and preserve that the dry matter and high quality hay that you're looking to feed to your cattle.
In fact, bale density is so important, New Holland now offers balers with variable core size and density technologies. Operators can customize bale density from inside the tractor cab and adjust two independent density settings within a single bale.
The ability to set the core size and density separate from the rest of the bale gives producers the ability to loosen up that core and get a little more breathability on the bale. If cattlemen are challenged by weather and need to bale their hay a little bit before they would like to, it's maybe at the higher end of that moisture range, they can loosen up that core so they get a little flexibility and breathability out of that bale after it's baled and on the ground, so that moisture can continue to escape from the bale and dry down and store better for them.
Proper bale storage is another key factor in preserving bale quality over time.
In order to sell a good quality bale, it needs to be preserved on our end up until time of delivery. So we choose to store it in a good facility, keep it out of the weather until such time. We sell hay all through the year. If they come in January and buy hay, they're getting a roll just like it came out of the field.
When we talk about hay bale storage, dry matter loss is a critical aspect because as we lose dry matter, we lose some of the quality, the crude protein, as well as energy value that we're providing for our livestock. So we're decreasing the feed value per se of that product. We feed our animals, our livestock, based on a dry matter basis. So if we're losing some of that dry matter due to poor storage selection, then we're going to lose some quality of that forage.
Obviously the best way is going to be to store in a building where I'm going to see at the most 5% dry matter loss over time, and I'm able to hold those bales a lot better and preserve the quality. If I don't have the resources or ability to store inside, then obviously I've got to store outside somewhere. And really the best option for that is to remember that bales will wick moisture up from the ground as well as what's coming out of the sky. So it's important to store them in a sunny place where they have the opportunity to dry and that moisture to escape, but also on an elevated spot, perhaps on a crushed rock pad, so the access of the bale to the ground is limited to preserve the dry matter on the bottom of the bale as well.
Decisions made in the field also affect how bales are stored and how they hold up. While bale density is one important factor, another is whether to choose twine or net wrap.
There are different ways to wrap our hay, either with twine or with net wrap. And there has been information that has shown that net wrap actually reduces some of that dry matter loss when that bale is stored outside compared to twine wrap. It helps to shed some of that water as well, much more so compared to twine. So a lot of our producers do use net wrap and feel like it's much easier to manipulate than, say, the twine in regards to baling as well as feeding.
The twine would not be an option for us. Of course, we go with net wrap, and we put at least 2.5 to 3 wraps on it because the majority of our customers don't have the option of storing their hay inside. So we try to produce a good tight bale with about 3 wraps on it so it will preserve for their type of storage.
In fact, research shows bale wrap and storage methods have big impacts on feed value. Bales wrapped in twine and stored outside can lose up to 25% of the dry matter value in just 1 year. Experts suggest cattlemen test their hay crop for nutritive value.
It's very important for producers to have their hay analyzed, whether they're producing their own hay or if they're trying to market their hay to other producers, or if it's the producer, if they're purchasing hay. We always recommend hay testing, collecting samples to actually determine the nutritive value of that product. We're producing hay and purchasing hay to feed to livestock, whether it's cattle or horses or other livestock species, and our ultimate goal is to meet their nutritional needs. And without knowing the nutritive value of that hay product, we really don't know what we're feeding. We don't know if they have enough energy or enough protein to meet their needs for their production.
Haymakers across the country rely on New Holland equipment and their local dealers to keep up with the leading edge of round baling technology.
To learn more about New Holland's latest advancements in round baling technology, I encourage cattlemen to visit their local New Holland dealer. New Holland is celebrating its 120th anniversary, and we've built our reputation on hay equipment and expertise on making quality hay. So dealers are a great resource to really analyze a cattleman's production system and determine how to make them make better quality feed for their cattle and put more money in their pockets.
Reporting from East Texas, I'm Brian Baxter for NCBA's Cattlemen to Cattlemen.
To learn more, visit your local New Holland dealer or head to the website newholland.com.